club side to appear here. A new era and a brand new competition. The Wembley Cup boasting 4 matches, the first of which brings Africa's top team to meet the former SPL champions Celtic. It's live next.
On Sky Sports 1 and High Definition HD1 Channel 408. Remember, Barcelona and Tottenham to follow this game. We'll start talking about them at around about 7 o'clock this evening. Your match commentators, David Provan and Rob Hawthorne.
Busy weekend for Tony Mowbray in between today's game and Sunday's against Tottenham. A trip to Moscow to check out Dynamo Moscow, their opponents in the first leg of the second round Champions League qualifier on Wednesday. His visa came through in time to enable him to make that trip. But first, it's an engagement with the Red Devils. Ahly from Egypt get match number 1 of the Wembley Cup underway. And that's Ahmed Fatih, the former Sheffield United player who played 3 times for them in the Premier League. Ball played out wide by Mohamed Samir to Gilberto, the Angolan, who is the left back. It's the former coach of Ahly, Manuel Jose, who has gone to take charge of Angola. And his replacement, who is an Egyptian national, is now working with a new, for them, formation of 4 at the back. They previously played with 5 at the back. It's been a little bit of a controversial change, but as ever, the proof of the pudding will be in the results.
Yeah, you're dead right, Rob. Well, what we do know about the Egyptian sides is that they'll have good technique. I think this will be a very good test for Celtic. I do think it's interesting that Tony Mowbray has picked the same side that started in Cardiff the other evening. That suggests to me this will be pretty close to the side that'll play against Moscow Dynamo next Wednesday in Glasgow.
The one player who might come into contention is Danny Fox, the new recruit. Deal has been completed today, and Fox is amongst the substitutes for Celtic today. By Gilberto, and here is Samir, who has already scored in this pre-season, a penalty in a Zayton Cup match. The Egyptian side's pre-season has been based in a German training camp, and then they played an Egyptian Super Cup match against Haras Hodood in Cairo last Tuesday, which they lost 2-1. They'd won the previous 4 in a row. Lee Naylor's position now under threat after the arrival from Coventry of Dan Fox. It's back by Fortuné. Now Nguemo, the new recruit who played well in the game at Cardiff. This is Hinkle, looking for an early way through here for Celtic, and it's giving Abdelhamid his first work.
Well, he never had a problem, Andres Hinkle, in finding the inside. What he does lack is a good left foot. Opens up nicely for him here, and we see him do this all the time in the SPL. But what he does lack at times is a finishing punch.
There is Hinkle again. McDonnell, the chosen front partner today for Marco Fortuné. And looking here for him, but the flag is up.
Made a good run, just wanted it a little bit earlier from Scott McDonald. Fortuné, who we see at times happier to come short. This time he goes long, and he just wanted it a yard earlier, and he would have been in.
Already at his 8th club now, including loan spells, the 28-year-old Fortuné. There are a few in England who are interested in him after his exploits late in the season at West Brom last season, where he worked with Tony Mowbray. Caldwell finding Naylor. Now Donati has a point to prove to re-establish himself back in the Celtic starting lineup with this new era. Tony Mowbray having taken over from Gordon Strachan. There's Caldwell. Only drifted in, so it's out wide to Naylor. Here's Donati. This is Aidan McGeady, who's started on the right with Maloney on the left today. Now Hinkle. McGeady. Fortuné drifted wide, while Goma can deal with that. Gets away with it, finds Gilberto. And Goma then put into trouble by the back pass. They were tying themselves up in knots then a little, Ahly. Here's McDonald. Now Fortuné. Fortuné looking for a way through.
He was unlucky, almost got past the centre-back. He was one-on-one there. Centre-back deliberately showing him the outside. Almost stumbled in. But I think even this early in the game, Rob, you can see that Celtic are so wide, full-backs out on either touchline. And this is the signature of Tony Mowbray teams. The trick, of course, is that when they lose it, they're going to have to narrow the pitch and make it compact.
Here's Maloney. Donati. And Guemo. Here's Caldwell. Now Donati. This is Lubens. And Guemo. Looking to make decent progress. Through over to his right. Here's Gilberto. Side Moad. This is Abutrika. Moad again. Ashur. Abutrika. Now Moad. Fed wide to Gilberto. Good moment for Boris.
Well, I don't think he's going to beat Boris from that angle. It's an intended cross. It's not the best. He doesn't quite get the inside of his left foot around it. But it's a terrific piece of patient football. They must have had 20-odd passes before they finally get the ball in. He's trying to pull it away from after Boris. Doesn't quite get the inside of the foot around it.
Fatty taking the corner short to Gilberto. It's Gilberto, it deflected across off Nguema.
He's just trying to help on to the target. Gary Caldwell, to be fair, was really tight front post, well positioned.
Francis Forkey was the player who'd been hoping to benefit from that little deflection, although nothing came of it. Here's McGeady. Back by Maloney. Lee Naylor. Get a clear by Gilberto. Now Maloney. He's done well to pull that one across. And it's a decent save. Got down well to deny McDonald.
I think it's better than decent, Rob. I think it's a fabulous save. I think he must have seen this pretty late. Lovely change of pace from Maloney to get down the outside. Not the best cross, but somehow it cleared the front post. Goalkeeper did really well.
Abdelhamid, who had his critics last season, showed sharp reflexes then, but again in front of him, all sorts going on there.
He can't quite believe it, Scott McDonald. He's not expecting this to come across the 6-yard box, and it kicked up just in front of him, couldn't quite react in time. Gotta say, poor defending for the ball to come that distance at that height. And Scott McDonald certainly wasn't expecting it. This, the earlier one, Ball played in front post. Pace is already on it. Goalkeeper does really well.
Mohamed actually lost his place in the Ahly team last season to Ramzi Chalet. Both of the goalkeepers came in for a fair bit of criticism. There was some talk that maybe looking to sign a new first-choice goalkeeper for this season. He'll just get back in at the end of the campaign. He's made a good start here, denying McDonald. Although his defenders have been doing him few favours at the moment. Here's Gilberto. Guema bearing down well on Ashur. Naylor. Now Glenn Luvens. Well, that was a bit casual by Landry and Guema. Now Gilberto. This is Forkey. Guema away to Maloney. Now Donati. Caldwell.
Good ball.
Tune, the man he managed to pick out. Ahmed Ali got to him. Tune looking to make a quick impression with the Celtic supporters.
Yeah, he's got to build a partnership with Scott McDonald, Rob, you know, and he doesn't have an awful lot of time. What we do know is he's happy coming short to link, and Scott McDonald equally happy going long. So on paper it looks a pretty good mix. What Celtic do like today is a midfield player who, when Fortuny does come off, goes beyond him. You know, Donati and Guema both much happier sitting goal side.
Here's Nguemo. Lubens. Now Sean Maloney. This is McGeady. Held off by Gilberto. On by Eno. Flag stayed down then for Forkey, even though he became involved, and he's through again here. It's Francis Forkey for Ahly. Denied by the legs of Artur Boruc.
Well, it's a typical Artur Boruc save. Few better than Depot when exposed in a one-on-one situation. Stayed up as long as he could.
Here's Gilberto. Little stretch to clear. But in the end from Ahmed Fatih. Here's Nguema. Now Donati. On by Naylor to Fortuny. Maloney has a stab.
Good effort, every right to take it on. Got out his feet, had a look up, nobody coming to the ball. And he managed to get his foot through it pretty well here. Just trying to get a bit of dip on it, maybe a bit of side movement, doesn't really get that. But he's more than capable. Missed a chance at the other end. Gary Caldwell deepest for Celtic. Forkey's certainly onside there. And it's a good save from Artur Boruc. Just stayed up as long as he could, spread himself, made himself as big as possible. And it's a typical Boruc save.
Naylor. McDonald with the layoff. Now McGeady. Hinkle. McGeady. Just a little push by Gilberto. Maloney's come across to take it. Maloney seeking a change of ball, and the referee agrees.
I think this is the kind of free kick that Danny Fox will be asked to take once he's in the side row. It's a lovely angle here to knock it in. Sean Maloney gets good action on the ball as well. But in the absence of Shunsuke Nakamura, who's moved on to Spain, I'd imagine Danny Fox will be the main man when it comes to set pieces in this area of the pitch from now on.
Maloney drifted in, and the header back. Fortune didn't keep it in.
That's a terrific chance for Lubens, and he just doesn't get the header clean at all. Comes off his shoulder, I think. Space opened up beautifully. McDonald peels off back post. Well, it's all there for him. I think he's in between the sticks. He's not well outside the front post, and all he had to do there was just help it onto the target. There's every chance he scores.
Tony Mowbray, who's managed a couple of times at Wembley before, losing both, a playoff final against Derby and an FA Cup semi-final against Portsmouth with West Brom. Here's McGeady. McDonald by Abu Trika, on by Moad. Here's Hinkle. McGeady. Samir. Cleared Ahly's header. Fortune with a layoff. Maloney was the target. Ahly kept under pressure by Fortune. Now Abu Trika.
Nice football again. They really do play it well out from the back.
Roberto got it forward. It was Caldwell across to cover.
No sign of a long ball at all from the Egyptians. Haven't really gone back to front, but they do pass it well.
Trika. Gilberto comes off Hinkle for the corner. While Goma, the threat who's come forward from the back. Fatty's corner. Maloney.
Oh, he dragged the shot. It's a poor effort, but Donati should do better in the edge of the box. Can't afford to see your midfield players losing this kind of tackle on the edge of the box. And it's a half chance for Ahly. Poor effort.
Caldwell. Now Lubens. Maloney. Let's carry Caldwell across. There's Nguemo. Luvens. Guemo. Here's Donati. Now Maloney. And Guemo. Hinkle, sort of a little short. Mawad gets it away. Brings it clear. Here's Ahly.
Free kick awarded to the Egyptians there, just a late challenge here, I think, from Donati. Misplaced pass in any case. Pretty even contest so far, and just a test that I'd imagine that Tony Mowbray would have been looking for ahead of the Dynamo game next Wednesday.
The managers can use the full depth of their squads in each particular game. 11 substitutes allowed. Hinkle. Now Guemo. McGeady. And Guemo. Fortuné. Yes, Hinkle. Goma stepping in. This is Ahly. Butrika looking for the ball round.
Maybe in a drier pitch he might have sat up for him. Heavily watered pitch, it just got away. Nice ball in behind Gary Caldwell.
Here's Naylor. Now Maloney. Got into trouble with Eno. It's Francis Forkey, the Liberian who'd made the run.
Steady, Sean, relax, going nowhere, Sean. There you go, take it off him, take it off him, take it off him.
Back by Eno. This is Samir. Now Gilberto. This is Mohamed Samir. To Ahly. Only caught this time.
I don't think there's any contact. I think he saw the challenge coming, managed to get the legs up quickly. Lee Naylor appears to have recovered from that knock just a few moments ago. Dan Fox may have been thinking about an early introduction there when the fullback took that knock.
Naylor looking to lift one in. Shoot underneath it.
Should have been deeper. Gary Caldwell's totally unmarked back post. He's screaming for it. He's got his arms up. Look at Gary Caldwell near side. He just wanted a deeper ball, something that he could go and attack there.
Here's Samir. Hinkle. This is McGeady. And Mawad. Gilberto. Samir. Here's Caldwell. 2 friendlies so far, Celtic, and haven't conceded in either. Started their pre-season in Australia against Brisbane Roar, which they won emphatically enough. Drew with Cardiff in the week. They're on by Gomar. I think he was looking to get in. And Guemo. There is Scott McDonald, who captained Celtic on his return to his birthplace, Australia. Now Guemo. And here's Gilberto. This is Gomar. Ahmed Fati. Magidi. Guemo holding it up from Hossan Ashur. This is Naylor. Maloney got away from one man and a second. Fortuné, can he turn here? So close! And the follow-up from Maloney's wide.
Well, it's a lovely move. All started by Lee Naylor on the left-hand side into Maloney. Into Fortuné. Centre-back for me gets too tight and Fortuné here, and he just gets spun. Lovely little reverse here from Maloney. Sat up, centre-back gets too tight, ends up wrong side. And it's a very decent effort from the striker on the half-turn there. Best piece of football in the match so far from Celtic. All came from Lee Naylor in the left-back position.
Celtic emphatically ahead in terms of what they've produced in front of goal so far, but only 1 each on target. Trico was looking for a free kick then, but no foul by Caldwell in the referee's view. Gilberto's ball. Now Moad. Keedy having brought it clear, finds Nguemo. Now Donati. Here's Naylor. Maloney. Magidi. Fortuné tried to deliver early. Turned back by Lubens. Caldwell. So Fortuné, but Ahmed Ahly got to him quickly.
I don't know why Fortuné took a touch there. Scott McDonald has made a lovely run in the central area. Just wanted it knocked in first time with a little header. But it will take time for the 2 centre forwards to gel.
And that's what these pre-season games are all about, developing that understanding. Tony Mowbray finding himself in a position where he needs to find a pairing pretty quickly. It's a very busy pre-season programme, which will see that game against Dynamo Moscow be their 4th in 8 days. Moad has a go.
He's going to do very well to beat Arthur Boric from that range. He had an offer on his outside there from Gilberto, who gets up on his outside. May have been trying to work this right to left with the outside of his foot. Either way, never really a threat to Arthur Boric's goals.
Here's McDonald. Now Guemo. Played in by Hinkle. The offside flag is up against Marco Fortuné.
Yeah, I think half a yard. Centre-back can see the ball being played. He can see Fortuné as well. Just held his position. See, he just wandered half a yard off here. Centre-back can see it all. Quite happy to allow him to go. Hand up immediately. And he got his angles right, the defender.
Maloney winning the throw in. Here's Lubens. And Gary Caldwell to Hinkle. Almost got himself into trouble, may still have here. It's McDonald. And here's an opening. Donati has to make it 1-0. And does. Well, they got themselves tied up in knots there at the back, Ahly. And Massimo Donati is the man who takes full advantage.
Well, you can't afford to give the ball away as readily as that in that area of the pitch. And been pretty decent at the back so far, but they're all over the place here. To be fair to Donati, we highlighted a tackle he lost on the edge of his own box previously, but he wins the one that matters here. Centre-back comes out, he does well to ride that tackle, waits on the goalkeeper going down, gets onto his left side, and it's a very composed finish, but poor defending here from Ahly. Good determination from Donati, gets him in. Goalkeeper already on his backside when he goes round him, and it's a tap-in finish. And no more, you would say, on what we've been watching than Celtic deserve so far.
Well, it was panic really for Ahly from the moment that Ahmed Ali found himself trapped by McDonald and Maloney. But in the end, Donati came forward in support, and he was the man who got the ball home and gives Celtic their lead here. Now who will want to atone for that. This is Eno. There's Goma. After a fairly composed start, that mistake by Ahly might give them problems. Fortuné was free over to the left then, but McGeady wins a free kick.
It's not a bad free kick to give away, because Gary Caldwell has acres of room on the right-hand side. Had he not been brought down there, McGeady, he can play Gary Caldwell in on the right-hand side here. Gives him a chance to get organised here.
Well, with their new signing, Dan Fox, they have brought in a bit of a free-kick specialist, so the man whose position is most under threat, Lee Naylor, might want to show what he can do here, but Sean Maloney is there as well. Naylor it takes.
It doesn't come down from. Lee Naylor will know that his days are limited here if Danny Fox can stay fit. He'll certainly be in the team. Celtic at this stage don't pay the kind of money they've paid, couple of £1 million for a reserve player. He'll go straight in. And it has been a long-term problem position for Celtic.
Former Everton apprentice Fox. Warsaw and then at Coventry as an England under-21 international. Here's Maloney. And Massimo Donati, the Celtic goal scorer. Here's McGeady. Hinkle. Abutrika getting the free kick. Not too happy with the close attentions there of Andreas Hinkle.
Haven't really seen much of him, have we? Certainly arrived here with a reputation, but they haven't really managed to get him into the game. Haven't managed to get any support to him either.
Ahmed Fati. Here's Nguemo. Moad. And this is Abutrika. And again, he's the man who got their consolation goal in the Egyptian Super Cup in the week. Nguemo. It's broken back here to Fortuné, who has a hit.
I don't think you can believe how much time he got to drop off, get turned and get the shot away. Centre-back just dropped off him. Said, go ahead, have a shot. But he does show well. Anytime the midfielders are on the ball, he's getting himself off the front, presenting himself for a pass.
Well, it's day one of the Wembley Cup, and there is a second game to come after this one. It's Tottenham against Barcelona, live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1, with our coverage starting at 7:15. Here's Naylor. Set up for Magidi. Here's Moad. Now Gilberto. And Abutrika close to each other, occupying the same sort of area. And it's McDonald. Fortuné. Donati's made another run from midfield. McDonald's in the middle if he can pull it across to him.
Well, it's a good run from Donati, who's much happier normally sitting goal side of the game, sitting deeper. But Nguemo's playing that role today. Donati's been given a little bit of freedom to go and support the front players. Left centre-back plays him on side there. Of the two central midfield players, this man, Donati, has been the most prominent.
It's Maloney's corner. Abutrika away. Hinkle. Naylor. Maloney. Donati. Space here for Magidi to operate in. He's tried to slip it through to McDonald, and he got there and goes down and wins the penalty.
Goalkeeper reckons not. He reckons there's no contact. Good show here from Scott McDonald. Lovely run here. Get a little bit lucky, deflected into Scott McDonald's path. Contact, hard to tell from that angle. Maybe his right hand caught his boot. The contact is minimal. Either way, a great chance for Celtic to double the lead.
Some players don't like taking the penalty after they've been the one who's fouled, but Scott McDonald was in no doubt. He was the man to take the spot kick. Held onto the ball from the moment the offence had taken place, and lines up to face the man who allegedly fouled him. And McDonald, via the post, makes it 2-0.
I'll talk about precision. Takes a lick of paint off the inside of the post. Lovely penalty.
Goal scorer number 7, Scott McDonald.
Comes up closed as if he's going to go to the goalkeeper's right. Just opens his foot at the last moment. And goalkeepers don't save then. Even had it gone the right way, he's not getting it.
Certainly was a precision finish from Scott McDonald, shaking his head maybe at the award of the penalty, and also the fact that it was via the post that Scott McDonald eventually beat him. So 2-0, and Celtic's position looking a little more comfortable in this match. And incidentally, as a new tournament, the Wembley Cup, it's worth just telling you that it is operated on a league format. It's 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw. And if you comes down to a tying point, then it goes down to goals scored, goals conceded, and the quickest goal of the tournament may eventually come into play to separate teams. Here's McGeady. Fouled by Gilberto. It's all come apart a little for Ahly after their decent start. Thingy in the kick, led by Ahly. There will be tougher days ahead, no doubt about it, for Tony Mowbray.
Starting on Wednesday, I would have thought. But so far, so good for Tony Mowbray. He would love to have had Scott Brown available, not just for this tournament, but certainly for the Champions League qualifier. He will give them an extra dimension in the centre of midfield, extra energy, and there is talk that he might be fit enough for the second leg. That would be a huge bonus.
Here's Gilberto. Abutrika. Ashur. Ahmed Ali's cross, giving Forky too much service to feed off. Here's Donati, the man who set the ball rolling and who's looking to re-establish himself at Celtic last season. He was pretty much frozen out after getting injured in November.
Well, there are signs, there certainly have been hints dropped by Tony Mowbray that this is a new start for him, that there is a chance for him to re-establish himself.
Here's Fortuné. Might have had his goal as well, but crossbar denied him. Hossam El Baldri is the Ahly manager. He's 49 years of age. Next year he'll celebrate 40 years with the club. He's been with them as a midfielder, technical director, assistant to Manuel Jose, and before stepping up to the manager's role now. Moab looking to clip one across. Just flashed in front of Forky.
Well, for me, Celtic don't do enough to stop the cross coming in. Just a little bit of slackness this side here. Nobody watching the runner. Back post, he's got plenty of time to set himself, get the volley away. Always difficult to take at that height. Lee Naylor right in his face, but arguably the best chance of the match so far for the Egyptians.
Here's Hinkle. Nguemo. Now Maloney. Donati. Hinkle. Now McGeady. Got a run rings around Gilberto. He did well. Samir had to deal with it.
McGeady at his very best, got the fullback squared up, was always going on the outside, and just needed somebody to attack that front post.
Here's Fatty. Now Abu Trika. Back for Ino. Forkey. Now Ahly. Fatty. Ashur. And this is Gilberto. Ina. Abu Trika. This is Forkey.
Well, he nearly didn't come to the ball. Gary Caldwell reckons he was caught there by his arm there as he spun, but chances have been few and far between for Ahly.
Well, so far so good for Celtic. A comfortable first half lead. Massimo Donati helping hopes of a rebirth of his Celtic career with the first, and Scott McDonald, who'd been fouled, converting from the penalty spot for the second. Celtic 2, Ahly 0 at half-time.
And the Wembley Cup off to a flyer for Celtic. Alan McInally and Gus Poyet will give us their thoughts on that first half in just a moment.
Only made one each. So with the scoreline at Celtic 2, Ahly 0. Celtic have made a change of defender, taking off Gary Caldwell and bringing on Darren O'Dea, and Ahly have made a change, taking off Syed Moad and bringing on this man Ahmed Hassan, the Egyptian captain, who's won 156 caps, including playing in the Confederations Cup last month. No such thing as a break from action from the club side for some of these Ahly players, and little has broken for them in a first half that's seen them fall behind to a goal thanks to their own defensive ineptitude, and then to a penalty decision against their goalkeeper that Scott McDonald punished. And so far, so good for Celtic and Tony Mowbray in the build-up to the new Champions League season, which begins for them on Wednesday with a qualifier against Dynamo Moscow. They've also got a friendly against Sunderland in between the two legs of that particular tie. So it is a very busy lead into the new season for Tony Mowbray's side. Here's Massimo Donati, who gave them such a good start here. Now Sean Maloney. Maloney looking to get the better of Ahly, who was the man who really got himself into difficulties for the first goal.
And first touch for Darren O'Dea there, who's come on for Gary Caldwell. O'Dea's going to play left side, Lumen's now playing right centre-back. It's important that Darren O'Dea gets some game time, because in the absence of Stephen McManus, who's out injured, the three centre-backs really have to be up to speed.
Still no McManus, Brown or Robson for Celtic, all currently out injured, but Darren O'Dea, great prospect, captain the Irish under-21 side already. Performed well in Champions League football for Celtic.
He has, he's much happier in there, Rob. He has played full-back for Celtic in the past and has done pretty well in the full-back position, but he's much happier in the central area.
Of course, he and Aidan McGeady did deliver some silverware to Celtic last season with the goals in the League Cup final. Just confirmation of that Ahly change. Ahmed Hassan on for Syed Moad, who was playing on the left side of midfield in the first half. But McGeady's just drifted past the new man there, trying to angle it back from McDonald, but Ashur was in the way. McGeady, though, did well, kept up the pressure on Gilberto, who was looking for the foul. Nothing given. And here's Nguema. Now Maloney. Donati. In comes Naylor. Flag was up.
Offside given. At times the two Ahly full-backs have really put the centre-backs in trouble. The two centre-backs have pushed up looking for offside, and the two full-backs have been fast asleep.
Celtic played Tottenham in their second match at the Wembley Cup. That's the final game on Sunday. Ahly will have Barcelona to cope with. Made Ahly with the throw-in. Lubens. McGeady. Naylor up to his left, but he's looked instead to Sean Maloney. And Maloney delivers a third. And again, Ahly undone by their attempts to play an offside. And instead, they give away a third goal.
Well, it's a terrific finish from Sean Maloney, who could have taken it earlier, but wanted a touch in there. Must have been surprised at how much room he gets in the inside left channel here. It just opens up beautifully for him here. McGeady's got the head up. I'll tell you what, he's half a yard offside. Centre-back, I think, gets up just in time. Either way, when he gets it, Sean Maloney shows terrific composure to work the ball onto his right side and just drill it inside that front post. Egyptians, I think, unlucky in this occasion. I think Sean Maloney's half a yard off, but he's not going to argue about it.
Well, Maloney, a player who, by his own admission, didn't play to his full expectation levels, and he returned back to his former club last season. Contributed 5 goals in his 30 matches after returning to Celtic Park. Sean Maloney. I feel there's a lot more to come from him this season. Here's Nguemo. Now McGeady. Congested through the middle, and Nguemo goes down. It's Fati. Now Abu Trika, who, despite his billing, we've seen very little from so far. Lets that one run to Francis Forkey. Naylor across on the cover, and Lubens having to get rid of it.
Oh, he had to be alive, Naylor. Good cover there. Just coming in to squeeze in the inside right channel. Rare occasion in the match that the two Ahly strikers have combined with any real effect. I think Tony Mowbray would like to see a little bit more of that, see a little bit more of a test for his back line here.
Abu Trika trying to show what he is capable of.
Well, Arthur Boric's not happy. He was allowed to get the shot away. It's always moving right to left away from the far post. It's one of the few chances or half chances he's had in the match. This was a lad who came with a reputation. Never really a threat to the Celtic goal there.
And who got Egypt's winner in the African Nations Cup final against Cameroon back in 2008. Also been playing Confederations Cup football over the summer. Here's McGeady. Now Samir. Hinkle. This is Donati. Now Lee Naylor. Fortune. McGeady trying to angle one through for Maloney. Here's Hassan. Forkey. Sam, the watchful eye of Glenn Lubens. Hinkle coming in to assist. Nguemo was looking back, man, maybe more in hope than expectation.
Yeah, well, we can see from here it was a corner. Don't know why he stopped. He could have played it.
Gilberto's cross. Here's Ahmed Fati. Now Ino. Trying to have a go from a long range.
Pretty poor. Anything they have tried to knock in from long range really has been pretty poor. After Boris hasn't really had much to do.
Sudden and heavy downpour for the Tottenham players to ponder as they emerge and just take in the surroundings ahead of their match against Barcelona, which is coming up. Familiar surroundings, of course, for quite a few of the Tottenham squad. They were only here in March for the Carling Cup final. Lubens. Hinkle. By McDonald.
Scottish weather we're getting now, Rob. Celtic feeling perfectly at home now.
Scottish weather, maybe we need a Wimbledon roof. Here's Abutrika. Fortuné. Here's Ahmed Fati. He's found Forky, who's onside here. Abutrika went for placement rather than power.
That's a poor effort, but the first runner got far too much room in the inside right channel, in behind Darren O'Dea there. Set it up nicely, deserved a better finish.
Nguema. McDonald. Here's Hinkle. McGeady. Now Donati. Here's Darren O'Dea. Naylor. Maloney. Naylor again. Well, they were queuing up. It was an unfortunate fresh air kick from Donati to try and connect with it. Gilberto on the break. Forky looking to link up with him here. Turn a bit heavy. Sure. Here's Ahly. O'Dea. Naylor. Lubens. We're going into close down Ahmed Hassan. Stood his ground. Here's Gilberto. Ball given away to McDonald, who couldn't make the most of it. Samir came in and found Gilberto.
Big season for this man, Rob. You know, in the absence of Nakamura now, so much of the creative responsibility will fall on Aidan McGeady's shoulders. And I do believe that he'll be asked to do a little bit less on the back foot for Tony Mowbray. Should see the very best of him this season.
A change here for Ahly. Francis Forky is the player who exits, and 24-year-old striker Hani El Aghazi comes on, a youth product of the big Cairo rivals for Ahly, Zamalek. Signed last year and managed to score twice on his debut in September. He goes up the top now to join Abutrika in an area where Ahly have had little joy. Here's Naylor. He was looking to be played in, but instead it's McDonald! Beautifully curled in! It's a lovely finish.
Well, he was always determined to make a better angle for himself. Had he taken it on his left foot, the target was a lot smaller, but just shifted it onto his right side and opened up the target beautifully. And he's just passed that into the top corner. Again, he's got much more time than he'll ever get in the Champions League qualifier next week. He's onside. Just a little nudge onto his right foot. And he's just wrapped the inside of his right foot around that. It's a terrific finish from Scott McDonald, on whom so much will depend this coming midweek in the qualifier. And hopefully he can come up with something just like that.
Well, he's been Celtic's leading scorer in the last couple of seasons, Scott McDonald. His second goal in this competition already. Samir, here's Goma. Lubens. Abutrika, and it's returned to him, and that's a good save from Artur Boruc. Made himself big at Abutrika's feet.
Oh, again, it's Artur Boric's very best one-on-one. Lovely little 1-2 to get Abutrika in the first place. Lubin sloppy in the right back position, but this little 1-2 gets him in. It's a great save from Boric.
Trying the goalkeeper from range. It would have had to be something special from there, bearing in mind what Boruc has just produced.
He makes so many of that type of save, Rob. That's him at his very best, one-on-one.
Goalkeeper who's constantly had his critics for his antics in the Celtic goal, Artur Boruc. It's a big season ahead for him. He was much criticised for an international performance against Northern Ireland last season.
Well, you'd have to say much of the criticism is self-inflicted, it's deserved. But if Tony Mowbray can get him into shape and get his head right, you won't find a better goalkeeper anywhere.
As a friend, as a rival as well this season in Lukas Zaluszka, who was with him at Legia Warsaw. Is now the backup, having come in during the summer from Dundee United. There's McGeady. Naylor. Here's Maloney, back into the path of Lee Naylor. Was he tripped? Well, having given one penalty already, maybe that was a more convincing claim.
Yeah, I think that's more of a penalty than Scott McDonald's, and I think Lee Naylor's reaction tells its own story. Lovely little give and go. That's a penalty, it's a nailed-on penalty for me. Yeah, he's got his right leg there. How the referee can't see that, I've no idea. He's only 10 yards, he's unobstructed. And I think you're right, Rob, having given one, he's reluctant to give a second.
Lee Probert is the referee who made that call. Here's Fortuné. McDonald on for a hat-trick now. The goalkeeper intervened there to ensure he might have to wait a little bit longer for it. Ashur. Now Gilberto. Hassan. Now Ahly. Samir. Eno. Gilberto. Goma. Donati. Here's McGeady. It's Nguemo.
I don't think he looks happy in that area of the pitch. I think he's much more comfortable in the deep area of the pitch. I don't think that's his bag supporting.
Ahly. Hold it because Celtic want to make 3 changes here. Mark Crossas at the front, Willow Flood just behind him, and Chris Killen also coming on here.
Massimo Donati being replaced by number 17.
Massimo Donati being replaced by Mark Crossas.
Been replaced by number 16.
Willow Flood coming on.
And coming off.
Off goes Nguemo.
For Celtic is number 7, skipper, scorer of 2 goals, Scott McDonald.
And there will be no hat-trick for Scott McDonald. He's the man who goes off to be replaced by the New Zealander Chris Killen.
I think that's precautionary as much as anything else, the withdrawal of Scott McDonald. He's absolutely crucial to them next midweek. To be fair, there hasn't been a bad tackle in the game. I can't remember a bad challenge.
A job well done, though, that McDonald can reflect upon. Gilberto's corner. Here's Flood. By Crossas. And Maloney. Killen. Opportunity now for Tony Mowbray just to look at another striking partnership. Finding out about his new charges.
I think Killen's another one who you know was totally out of the picture under Gordon Strachan, but who has a chance under the new manager. Tony Mowbray knows all about him. He had him at Hibs, and it's a fresh start for him.
Scored a couple of goals in the win against Brisbane Roar in Australia. Chris Killen, the only one who was under Tony Mowbray at Hibs either. He will have seen a familiar face in Gary Caldwell, who is his captain there. There's Gilberto. Maloney. Now Luvens. OD. Flood. Now Killen. Killen showing plenty of strength.
That's good refereeing that time from Mr. Probert. Could have given the free kick initially, realised that Killen was getting an advantage down the outside, then eventually brought it back. Nice angle here again for Sean Maloney to whip something in between goalkeeper and last defender.
Juvens and OD both showing interest in this. Oh, OD unlucky that he wasn't able to put anything on that.
He's just trying to help onto the target. There's good pace on the ball in from Maloney. He's just trying to help it inside the far post there. He's not far out.
Ahly change this time. Trico will not have shone as he'd hoped at Wembley. And Osama Hosni, the Egyptian international striker, coming on to take his place. Hosni scored 4 times in 13 international caps. Here's Ahmed Fatih, El Ghazi, Ashur, Roberto got it forward. El Ghazi was there, but so too was Darren O'Day. Magidi, Hinkle. Now Naylor. Maloney. Fortuna, it's a good turn to get away from Samir.
Don't quite know what he's attempting there, Fortuna, whether he's trying to score or whether he's trying to play Killen in at the back post. Again, the centre-back is far too tight on him, makes it easy for Fortuna to roll him. He might have been trying to play Killen in back post, just a little bit heavy with the ball across goal. But good striking play to turn the centre-back initially.
Here's Gilberto. Lifted onto the top of the bar by Ahmed Hassan.
Just a little bit of slackness here from Darren O'D, giving it away on the edge of the box, and I think that's the message that he's getting from Artur Boric. He's never slow to tell the lads in front of him when it's required.
There's Hosni. Now Gilberto. Hosni. Gilberto, first time with the cross, and it's fallen to Ahmed Hassan. I know Flood came in with the important challenge the first time, but the danger's still not over. Eno looking for a way through. So Ahly had come forward, and eventually they reach him. Deep behind the cross.
Well, lost a bit of cutting edge to the Ahly play. O'D did brilliantly to meet the first ball in from the left-hand side there. They've really struggled to make that kind of angle to throw a cross in from.
Here's Naylor. It's Crossas. Here's Fortuné. Away from Ahly. Cross was behind Killen. Gilberto there to meet it. Here's Naylor. Fortuna has earned a free kick here for Celtic.
He's had a good day, Marco Fortuné. He's been busy, he's come short, he's gone long, he's broken wide. He's certainly turning defenders.
And a replacement for Ahly.
There are more substitutions now. And Mustafa Shebeta coming on in place of Motaz Ino.
Been replaced by number 23, Mustafa Shebeta.
Shebeta, an Egyptian midfielder who's spent the last 2 seasons out on loan. He has already scored in this pre-season in a Zayton Cup win against Wydad Casablanca. He scored a penalty. Aidan McGeady going off for Celtic. Koki Mizuno coming on in his place. And who's the mystery man? Well, Dan Fox has been allocated squad number 11, but his move and debut have happened so quickly they haven't had time to get his name or number on his shirt yet. So the man with no name or number, who is Fox, comes on in place of Sean Maloney.
Been replaced by number 11, but playing.
Not a bad time to get a first run out, is it? With 15 minutes to go and a 4-0 lead.
I think he wants this free kick as well, Rob.
Well, for now, Naylor keeps the job. That might be something to be argued over in future.
Well, he's going to play just in front of Lee Naylor, left midfield. He can't play anywhere left side.
A bit of an argument going on there. OD seemed to be making the suggestion towards Samir that an elbow was flung in his direction. And Lee Probert has now called Goma over to try and sort this out between the 2 players.
Referee certainly blew early enough when the free kick was taken. The whistle sounded almost immediately. Don't quite know what he spotted. He's been blocked off there, Darren O'Dea. Well, the arm's high. Don't see a great deal in it. He's certainly been blocked off. Is it a loose elbow? No, if there was, not a great deal in it.
Well, here's Fox. Fox wasn't expected to participate this quickly. With his registration through, Tony Mowbray giving him an early run out. He had been strongly linked with a move to Mowbray's former club West Brom after the departure of their long-standing left-back Paul Robinson.
If he plays next midweek, he will really enjoy it. He will love it. First experience of Celtic Park, European nights, always special.
It's Goma. Now Gilberto. Shebeta winning the free kick. And Crossas. Here's Ahmed Ali. Now Samir. Gilberto. Now OD. Here's Hosni. Now Ali. Hassan. There's Fatty's ball to Ashur. Ahmed Fatty once more. Lubens. This is Hosni. Elakazi. It for Shebeta. Shebeta driving it across, but not to the benefit of Hosni and Hassanu are both waiting.
Yeah, poor final ball. At times they do overpass. It's almost as if they're trying to score the perfect goal at times.
Well, the climax of the Wembley Cup comes on Sunday when the title will be decided. Barcelona against Ahly kicks us off at 1 o'clock. Sky Sports 1 and HD1, followed by Tottenham against Celtic. Coverage starting at 3:30 again, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And with a 4-0 lead, if it does come down to number of goals scored and conceded, Celtic already making a fairly powerful claim to lay their hands on the trophy. So much could depend on that final match of the whole tournament against Spurs. Zuno's cross. Good as far as Fox. Gets it back in there. Goalkeeper did just about make it. But he got there in front of Flo and was then caught by him.
Just be hoping at this late stage in the game now, Tony Mowbray, that he doesn't pick up any injuries. It's the perfect tournament ahead of the game next week. It's on Celtic's doorstep and it's a chance to get 3 hours of game time into the players' legs ahead of that. Just got to make sure that they don't pick up any unwanted injuries ahead of that game.
Well, he inherited the pre-season schedule. He wasn't involved, of course, in the planning of it, Tony Mowbray. It must have been a bit of a concern when he saw some of the mileage involved,
yeah,
the trip to Australia.
Well, for commercial reasons we understand that, but it certainly wasn't ideal.
Lagazi is the target. And call the defender. 10 minutes to go, and so far a thoroughly satisfying workout for Celtic. Their record of clean sheets pre-season preserved, and 4 goals. McDonald particularly in form in front of goal. There's Ahly. Now Goma. This is Gilberto. Gilberto picking it well with the attack, but Gilberto is offside.
Again, good line there from Celtic. Darren O'Dea in charge there in the absence of Gary Caldwell. Knew exactly where he was when the ball was slipped through.
Some disappointment from Ahly. They'd hoped to show their brand of football that's made them Africa's most famous club and make a big splash at Wembley, but so far it's Tony Mowbray's team that have got the upper hand here against them. Fortuné going to pull that one back again. It's Flood who's onto it and he can hit them. He plays that one wide.
Well, he appeared to get it flush. I just wonder how wide that was. Fortuné does well to get to the byline here, and Flood was always going to take it first time. He's not going to get 2 touches in that area. Oh, he struck it well. Very little spin in the ball. Terrific save.
Tips from Abdelhamid and Fox with a corner. Zuno strikes it back in and the flag stays down, and Celtic have a 5th from Killen.
Well, they certainly tried to clear the 6-yard box. I just wonder if they got up in time. They're making that point to the assistant, Ahly. They reckon they got up in time. Either way, there are a couple of Celtic players here waiting to finish this when it comes in from the right-hand side. Do they get out quickly enough? Nah, he's onside. There is another Celtic player in there, but not taking part. Drilled in by Koki Mizuno. He's onside. This will put it beyond any doubt that the scorer was well on.
So The scoreline even more emphatic now for Celtic. Laying down the marker in the Wembley Cup. Hosni, Lubens. It's Hosni again. This is Flood. Of course, has the player fouled. Complaints from Ahmed Hassan to referee Lee Probert. Final warning. Here's Flood. Now Naylor. Fortuné. Through to Fortuné again. Striker who so far hasn't got his name on the score sheet. He still contributed plenty. Crossas. Lubens. Darren O'D. Flag stays down this time for Mizuno, but it gets away from him.
Terrific switch from O'D, and that's what Darren O'D gives Celtic, that kind of range of passing. Always got the head up looking for runners.
Here's Gilberto. Flood. From Ahmed Ahly, cleared by Glenn Lubens. Here's Ahly. Here's Shibeta. Now Fati. Shibeta once again has a dig. It's a great goal. A great attempted goal, I should say.
It's a terrific save from Boris, who somehow managed to get his right hand up in time. Nobody comes out to the ball here. Neither centre-back wants to go and press the ball here. I just wonder how much this moved. We're just about to find out. Certainly got plenty of dip on it. It's a very good save from Boris again, not for the first time today. He really looks on top of his game, the Polish keeper.
Yes, another fine reaction from Artur Boruc. Here's Goma. And Gilberto. Here's Shibeta. Goma. Gilberto. Now Fati. Here's Hosni. Gilberto. Crossas. It's back by Lubens. Fortune. Hinkle. Killen. And who got the Celtic fifth. Alagazi. Shabetta, now Hosni. There's Ahmed Ali. He's overrun it.
Yeah, had a chance to get the cross in. He had a yard on Lee Naylor. But they have overpassed at times. They've passed the ball to death, but most of it in front of Celtic. Very rarely have they opened them up.
Tony Mowbray can head for Red Square off the back of an emphatic victory over the Red Devils. Celtic convincing winners here against Ahly to put them in real contention for the Wembley Cup. The strikers in form with a couple from Scott McDonald, one from substitute Chris Killard too, and Maloney and Donati adding to the scoring. And another clean sheet pre-season as well for Celtic, who are tuning up well ahead of that vital Champions League qualifier next week. Celtic 5, Ahly 0.
And if they can reproduce this kind of performance, they could well find themselves in the Champions League proper. Dynamo Moscow will be very interested, I'm sure, keeping an eye on what Celtic are doing right now. Tony Mowbray himself will now be going off to Moscow tomorrow to see them in action before coming back here for Celtic's second game of the Wembley Cup on Sunday against Tottenham. It's easy, this management lark, isn't it? We will analyse Celtic's performance, their first of this Wembley Cup, with Alan McInally, their former striker, and Gus Poyet in just a moment. Very satisfying evening's work, though. They're off to a flyer, beating Ahly by 5 goals to 0.